I like veggies, I like veggies, do you too, do you too? I like peas and carrots, I like peas and carrots and brinjals too, and brinjals too. Hi everyone, I'm Shilpa from Udgam School for Children and I'm here with Miss Pratima Patel who is one of the directors over here, and we are going to discuss on the topic significance of healthy eating. Ma'am, as we know from last 4 decades, you and your team have contributed significantly in making children understand value of food, and also you make them eat. You are, too good in this. So just wanted to understand how will you define healthy eating as such?
Say Shilpa, healthy eating, just now you said in that rhyme,
Yeah.
I like veggies.
Yes.
So, vegetable based food, maybe salad, well cooked vegetables, dal, bhat, roti. Then, avoiding dry snacks or fried food to a certain extent will help you to have good healthy food.
Correct.
Fruits also should be included in daily food at some time or the other, at the time of snacks or at other times when you are hungry, in between the two meals. This is what generally for small children we will say is healthy food, which helps them to build up their bones, body in general, and build up also immunity, because these children, if they don't build up immunity from now, they will have difficulty when they grow up.
Correct.
Therefore, mostly I see that small children should learn how to eat good square meals and avoid junk food.
Ma'am, I also wanted to understand, because children, I have seen their tiffins, their lunch boxes. Sometimes they bring fruits, sometimes it's a different kind of snacks, or sometimes vegetable and bread and all. So what is, as per you, a good lunch pack during school hours? Because they are in school for 6 hours and like they take 4 hours to start their lunch. So what should they bring in their lunch boxes as such?
Lunch box, again, if the mostly we expect children to have lunch and come, but it may be difficult for parents
Yeah, and some schools are like during early hours they
to
start.
get children to eat lunch and come.
Mm.
But they can have heavy breakfast sort of, like brunch, paratha dahi, vegetable paratha dahi, pulao dahi, or sometimes some vegetable sandwich, which is stomach filling, first thing.
And what they should
And
avoid?
in the lunch
Yeah.
box, they can give roti, vegetables. They can again mix pulao according to the child's liking,
Right.
so that the child eats handwo, dogu, parathas, debra. There are so many varieties. That is cooked food for children to eat.
Correct.
Not that they should be kept away from pizza and this, but we have to change the form, the base. Instead of maida base of pizza, we can easily have crisp bhakri or a crisp brown toast, and put all that material that is there as topping on that, which substitutes a pizza and craving for eating a pizza. So this way there will be lot of variety in the lunch box also.
And what they should avoid, ma'am, as such, like what food they should not bring, which will get
Dry snacks mainly we have asked children not to bring to school, because dry snacks again are fried, and that doesn't give the vitamins, proteins, such requirements of the child's growth. Therefore, we ask them to avoid these dry snacks, then packet foods. Packet foods also at times have lot of other materials added, preservative, which is not good for health. Even adding that baking soda or cooking soda, whatever we call that agent, to hasten up to cook properly, which is harmful to our body.
Okay.
This should be avoided.
And what fruits they should not bring in the tiffin boxes? Like some fruits are not good
Some
after 3-4
fruits,
hours. Like
See, if parents have to give fruits, they can give the whole fruit instead of cut and giving.
yes, yes.
Keeping fruits for a longer time after being cut is not good.
Yes, like bananas.
Banana, whatever, apples will, you put some lime or something on apples and give, that won't taste good after certain hours. Child won't like to eat. Give the child the full fruit
Instead of cutting and
instead of cutting and giving.
correct.
If the child is unable to bite, can always go to the buy or the canteen and get it cut. Nobody says no in Udgam.
Sometimes, ma'am, we have seen that children coming sulking and they are crying, and you say that you are hungry, that's why you are crying. And so, how do you understand the hunger signals as such?
See, hunger signals children don't understand, but they come and tell me, I have a headache, I have a stomachache, I am not feeling comfortable. You see, then I ask children, what did you have in the morning before coming to school? What time did you get up? Talk to the child a little and find out. When the child has not had adequate quantity that fills up his stomach, then I call for his lunch box. First send the child to the doctor. So mentally child feels, I am attended. Then call for the lunch box he has brought from home. Get him to eat. And then after some time call him and ask, are you comfortable? Or sometimes children at that time itself say, Ma'am, I am feeling fine. So that was a hunger pain.
Correct. Yeah.
So the child feels fine. I give the child lunch or whatever snacks are prepared in the school in his box to eat at the recess time. Or call the child
Yes,
as per the convenience.
correct.
You see.
Yes. Sometimes we have seen that they don't like their tiffins and then you give them from here.
Yes, sometimes that also happens.
Yeah.
And sometimes it so happens, Shilpa, that children have brought from home. But still they feel hungry. They come and tell me, I have eaten my lunch, but I am still hungry.
Yes.
I ask them to go to the canteen, eat as much as they want and go back to the class.
Correct. Yeah. That's very
This
nice
is all-
gesture. Yeah. I mean, very rarely we find such kind of sensitivity, and it's good.
This
like-
is all what is
and it is required from the mothers as well to understand the hunger pangs
Yes.
whenever children are hungry. Give them some little food.
Sometimes parents also don't know how much will the child want, more or less. Because we have asked parents to give an adequate quantity of food in the lunch box so that the child finishes well, finishes early, has some play time and then goes back to the class. Otherwise, if there is excess of it, child cannot eat. And we force the child to eat. Because we see the lunch box is also that they finish and go. To avoid parents telling us that my child does not eat in the school. Or sometimes children form a bad habit of throwing away the food. So to avoid such things, we request parents to give an adequate quantity. And there's nothing if the child is still hungry, we have food, we can give them.
Okay. I just wanted to understand, ma'am, why some children are picky eaters, because everybody is not a bad eater. But some children have this tendency and they keep crying when they are eating. Every day they do the same thing. I have seen this. So, I mean, so how,
See,
how this happens?
How does it come?
Yeah.
A child learns from the environment, first from the home. whatever the eating habits majority of the time at home is seen or adopted.
Right.
Mommy will say he doesn't like roti dal bhat saag, so I give him pizza. I give him some dry snacks. Or sometimes they bribe. You see, you eat this, I will give you ice cream. This is not proper because the child has to learn
Right.
to eat what is made
Right.
and what is healthy for the child.
Yes.
Nowadays we see, therefore the child becomes picky. We read in the newspapers.
Our parents themselves are not a good eater.
Yes, that is what I said.
Yeah.
That they see the environment at home.
Yes, yes.
Parents themselves feed themselves on such things. Therefore, the child also learns the same thing.
Right.
Secondly, the school, the friends of the children, parental friends get-togethers. See, these are the ways where the child learns to become picky. When mother has no time, the child says, I don't like that. All right, don't eat. You eat this. So that the mother is relieved of certain things. So for such conveniences also such things occur that children become picky
eaters.
And sometimes parents, mothers themselves want to avoid this. But grandparents sometimes out of over affection do not allow them to do so. This is another big hurdle that comes in a family.
Right.
So all the members have to understand that certain things are a must.
Right. Ma'am, people go out on Sundays, weekends, and they have a lot of choices in the restaurant. So how to make good choices over there? Because that you cannot avoid, but how to have good food over there? So
Why in all the restaurants there's a menu. You see, you say soups, sandwiches, then vegetables, then other farsans, whatever you call fried things. It is not that you have to keep the child away from there. Take the child's help. If the child chooses certain things which are not good, then can be always explained that we will have one out of that which is liked by you, but everything that goes away from the healthy eating, we shall not have. We have to have things that are healthy for eating too. I think children do understand to a certain extent because they are not devoid of those things and they should not be devoid of it also.
Right. Yeah.
You see?
And if you are making them part of your selection, like whatever selection you are doing, they should be made part
They are
of it.
made a part of it.
Then they will not.
Therefore, they will willingly agree to accept it
Yes,
also.
yes.
Otherwise, what will they do when they grow up? They will eat what they like, all this junk food which they have been devoid of it earlier.
Yes.
And then we see cases in the newspapers. They land into obesity, they land into cardiac trouble.
Yes, in a very,
All
very
these
early
things.
ages they are having all such
I was
problems.
talking to one of the doctors who came, parent doctor who came yesterday. A very big, renowned diabetic diabetologist who treats obesity, that is infant obesity too, was showing now that I am having lot of people having this child, infant's obesity. You see why? Because of this disorder of eating.
Yes.
Recently there was a case in newspapers that young college boys detected with serious cardiac trouble.
Yes.
I think you must have also
I have
read
also
that
gone
case.
through that, yes, and it is kind
And
of
it was very
eye-opening.
nice of
Yes.
that person, patient, to say that I was only addicted to junk food
Yeah.
and I have landed myself in interruption. From such cases we should learn, isn't it?
Yes, very true.
And now there is lot of exposure. You don't eat white flour every day. Bread you get in different forms. You get brown bread, bajra bread, multigrain bread.
Yes.
If you have to eat bread, choose some of those mediums.
Correct.
Sometimes to satisfy your craving, you can have maida bread, white bread. There is nothing wrong in it.
True.
Everything in its limit or a certain proportion is not harmful.
Correct. I'm sure our parents are enjoying these talks and they are surely going to get benefited out of it. And with this, I would just like to say, eat healthy and stay healthy. Thanks.